All right. Happy Monday. Welcome back, family. Welcome back. Welcome back. We're uh, in the presence of maybe the most esteemed guest that we've had on our show to date. We talk about them, we talk for them, but today we're going to talk to them. Family, please welcome um, our esteemed scholars throughout Baltimore City. We have Lizzie, we have Anaya, and we have Sir Kadar. And we are joined, of course, by the co-host with the most, Mr. Tyrone, face of the franchise. Family, we're so happy you're here. Please share this particular podcast. We're talking to students through Baltimore City. For the first half hour, we will be talking to these young people, and then we're going to go and talk to some high schoolers at about 5:30. So we're going to get their take on what's going on. We've been talking around the issues, again, but it's time for us to hear from the voice of these young people. So are all our guests, are you ready for the question, the connection question?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, Anaya, we're going to start with you. Anaya, what is your favorite outdoor activity? And you just asked me because I want the people to know how brilliant you are. You said, well, is it a place? Can it be a place or can it be a thing? So whatever you like. Go ahead.
Well, beaches. Oh, I also like the harbor, which is a nice place. It's just going outside anywhere. So.
All right. Very, very honest. Thank you for that. Lizzie, how about you? Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Riding my bike.
Riding your bike. Okay. Kadar?
I like to play basketball.
Basketball outside. A man after my own heart. Mr. Tyrone, your favorite thing to do, sir?
Outside for me would have to probably would have to be outdoor swimming. When the weather is nice in the outdoor pool. But I'm really not the outside person. I don't like heat. So, but I do like outdoor pools when the weather, permits and it's nice.
Right. All right. For me, let me see. I'll take definitely some Kedar, which is some hoops for sure. Kedar and I were talking about the late Kobe Bryant, rest in power to him right before we went on air. Lizzie, I'm definitely with you in riding. I love riding my bike as well. And with Anaya, the harbor, outside, beaches, I'm all with y'all. So we got to go and have a day of it, y'all. Y'all and y'all parents. Maybe we can set that up. But I really appreciate you all being here. It takes very brave young people, in my opinion, to talk at all to adults, especially about some really hard conversations, which we're about to have. And so we're delighted to have you on as guests. And you're
Yes.
beautiful, and it's really wonderful to have you. So the first question is, how are you all doing with online schooling? That's my first question. I'm going to start with Kedar. What do you think, Kedar? How was being online connected to your Google Classrooms? You and I were just talking about that before we started. How is it so far?
It's it's good.
What do you like about it?
I like it that we actually get to actually use stuff because when I misspell a word it has a red line underneath and when I press the other of the mouse it pops up and you can just click the word with the correct word.
Excellent, excellent. So you have some resources online that you might not have at school. Is that what you're saying? Okay, thank you, Kadar. Lizzie, what do you think about online schooling? If you like it, what do you like about it? If you don't like it, what don't you like?
I like that I can do my schoolwork earlier.
Okay. Anaya? What do you think?
I like that we can get stuff done, but I don't like that it's like our teacher isn't like hands-on, so she can help us to a certain point, but at certain things she can't really help us because she's not there. But we also have different things and different like things that we don't have at school to help us with our work and stuff.
All right, Anaya, can you go ahead? I'm sorry. Say it again.
And the comfort of our own home.
And the comfort of your own home. Okay, I was going to ask you to expand on that, and I'm going to come right back to you, and I'm going to ask you, what do you miss about school? And then that same question, Lizzie and Kadar, you all get ready to answer that as well. What do you miss about school? Well, you can be honest.
I miss my friends. I definitely miss like recess because like all your friends are there and everything. That's probably it. It's fun because you get to talk. Art. Yeah.
All right.
And my teacher.
And your teacher. Okay. Kadar, what do you miss about school? Going to the building.
I miss music.
Okay. All right. Lizzie, what about you? What do you miss about being at the fort?
My teachers.
Your teachers? Oh, I'm sure the fabulous fourth grade team would love to hear you say that. Okay. So Kadar, you're saying that because of some of the way the online applications work, you're able to get some things done that you might not have been done at school. How do you feel about learning from your teacher, being engaged in learning from your teacher online? Describe that for us.
Kind of hard.
Speak up a little bit, Kadar.
Hard.
It's hard. Yeah. What makes it hard for you? Why is it difficult?
Hard to learn the teacher online because on the computer, because on other people's computer, and it can make glitches and make really annoying sounds with it. It's really hard for you to concentrate on what the teacher is saying.
Okay, we're not really able to hear all of that. We'll come back to you, Kadar. Okay, maybe Mom can kind of help you with the volume a little bit. Lizzie, what about you?
I think that's kind of weird for me because I can't physically talk to my teachers and they can't really help me with my work.
Okay. Thank you. Anaya, what do you think?
I think being engaged is really hard because like we get to like type and chat on the Zoom call, and she can't really we don't really get in trouble for it because she can't really do anything. So it's hard to be engaged while everyone else is like talking or doing whatever they're doing.
Okay, so you're saying that like some of your fellow students are in the chat talking and distracting you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's a new angle. Thank you. So what are your thoughts about possibly going back? I'll start with you, Lizzie. Possibly going back to the fort this fall. What are your thoughts on that? How do you feel about, come fall, you may have to go back to the fort?
What I think is that, in my opinion, that's not a good idea because the virus is still around.
Okay. Kadar, what do you think about possibly going back to schools come fall?
My thoughts about going back to school in the fall is that it's a good idea to go.
Would you say, Kadar, you say it is a good idea or it is not? I couldn't hear you.
It is a good idea to go back to school.
It is, okay. Thank you for that. Anaya?
Well, I think it could be a good idea, like if we don't have to do like every safety precaution, because if we still have to wear a mask and our gloves, that just makes school unfun. And like we still have to be cautious and everything. That's going to be really hard for like the kids because, and especially the younger kids.
Why do you say that? Why do you say especially the younger kids?
Because usually they can put their hand in their mouths and pick their nose and do all that stuff, but they're not going to be able to do that, and they're going to have to wear hand sanitizer, wear gloves, and wear masks, and they're not going to understand, like, they can't be so close to their friends and all that stuff.
Very good points. Salient points. Thank you. So my esteemed guest, we're going to go to Mr. Tyrone. Mr. Tyrone every week talks to our family that's on Facebook, and they ask questions. Sometimes they give us some comments and some feedback. So we're going to allow him to speak on that for a moment.
Yep. So shout out to those who are viewing us: Santana, Capo, Chelsea, Stacy, Donna, D'Artagnan, Andrea, Devin, Megan, Tabitha, Jamal, Eddie Senior. We always like to shout out, some of our viewers and stuff. However, so one of you all can answer this question. That is, how long does it take for your teacher to respond to a question outside of class time?
Great question. Let's start with...
Does anyone want to answer that?
Yeah, who would like to answer that? Just raise your hand. Kadar. Okay, we'll go Kadar, we'll go Lizzie, then we'll go Anaya. How long does it take, Kadar?
About 5 seconds.
Okay. About 5 seconds. Lizzie?
For me, it takes some minutes or an hour.
Okay, minutes to an hour. Anaya, we lost your visual. I don't know if you can still hear us.
Yeah, I think we lost her. That was, so in relates to that, that's good. We have someone on here whom is struggling with getting response from her, from the kid's teacher outside of login time with the teacher. Like no kind of response, don't hear anything until maybe the next day or the next time it's time for them to log in.
All right. Anaya, I don't know if you heard the question before we lost you. Did you? Okay.
I did, yeah. Usually for me, they answer pretty quick over email.
Okay. Excellent. That's great. That's great to hear. So Anaya, Lizzie, and Kadar, and then Anaya, I'll come back to you. Anaya started talking about some of the safety precautions that the state and the school board has to have in place when we come back in the fall. Lizzie, what's going to make you feel safe when you come back to the fort? What kind of things do you need to see in place or feel that is going on to make you feel safe with the virus? You pointed out the virus earlier.
What I think is that you said what needs to be in place so that we don't get sick.
Yeah, for you.
In my opinion, I think that we need to shut down a little bit of the things at my school so that other kids don't spread the germs to other kids.
All right. Thank you. That's a very sensible answer. Kadar, what do you think? What's going to make you feel safe and secure? What's it going to take in order for you to come back to school and feel like, okay, all right, I can do this? What kind of things do you need?
When I go back to school in this class, the things that I needed when
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear your answer, my friend. Ah, okay. Got you that time. Desks to be spread out. Okay, that'll make you feel safe if you're far away from your, or further away anyway, from your classmates. Anaya, you already had you started to answer the question on the last question. You had of the game, miss. So tell me, for you, what's going to make you feel safe?
Probably like being able to know that we don't have to wear a mask and wear all those things is gonna make me feel more safe. Still being like cautious and still having hand sanitizer after every class. But it's gonna be kind of hard for everyone to go back to normal after this. And if there's still like cases and stuff going on, how are we gonna feel safe? Because it's still happening.
Right. Let me ask you, just take that a little bit further, Anaya. Do you think cases will still be going on in the fall?
I don't really know. I think so, but I'm not positive. So.
All right. Let's see, Lizzie. What do you think? Do you think that between now and maybe late fall, cases will drop? Cases won't be going on. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
I still think the cases will be going on, but a little bit more lower.
All right. Kedar, what do you think? Do you think by fall you're still going to have cases going on or no?
Yeah.
You do? Okay. All right. Now, I wanted to ask you all this about the logging in. You all are obviously into your Google Classrooms. Kedar, you and I spoke about it. Lizzie and I, you've talked about it since you've been on air. Some students are having trouble or have had trouble getting into their online classes. What do you think would be a good solution to help some students in the city who aren't able to log on? Listen, it's a big question, but I think that you all can answer that question. What do you think? Anaya, go ahead.
Well, I think like showing them, if like the teacher has a Zoom class about how to, or like they have a YouTube video about how to log into your Zoom class if you're having trouble and stuff like that. Because you already have like the computers and the resources to do it, but we don't know how to. Okay,
outstanding. What do you think, Lizzie? How can some of those fourth graders at the fort who haven't been able to log on, how can we get them to log on? What's your advice?
If they can't log on because they don't have computers,
how can some of those fourth graders?
I think that we should just give them some work that they've missed from the month.
Okay, that's a good answer. Very kind of you. Not leaving them out, right? Good. Kedar, what do you think? If there are some scholars who haven't been able to log on, such as yourself and our other guests here, what should happen? I love it. I love it. Oh man, Tyrone, we are blessed, man. We got some forward, progressive thinking minds here on the show today.
I mean, I'm sitting here just smiling and so happy at just young folks across Baltimore City today, right? Are just doing amazing things. And then to sit here with you three and hear your responses and, well, first of all, to have the courage to just come on and talk, is amazing. But then to actually hear your responses and, your thoughts and ideas is just like got me over here like ear to ear. If I could make my smile bigger, it would be. Thank y'all.
Absolutely. Okay, last question, and then Kedar, you can go back to playing ball. Anaya, you can go back to the beach, and Lizzie, you can go back to riding your bike. Last question. when we come back in the fall, a lot of students have felt a lot of different emotions about not being able to go to school, about everything that's happened with the virus. What do you think it's going to take for students to feel healthy, secure in their emotions when we come back? That's a big question, I know, but I know you can handle it. Kadar, I'm going to go to you first. How do you think other students will be able to feel better, safer, healthy about going to school?
Other students will feel much safer about going to school if less deaths of coronavirus started to happen.
All right. Great answer. Lizzie?
What I think is that we could be doing to stay healthy is to eat lots of vegetables and get the proper nutrients in your body and get lots of sun.
All right. Anaya?
I think maybe we'll feel more like comfortable with our emotions if like someone important or someone like important tells us that it's okay to go back outside and it's okay to go back to school and it's back to safe and you can like go back how you did the past half of the year.
Wow. Well, go ahead.
Yeah, let me. So you just see a couple of more minutes. We have a comment from someone. Either all of y'all can answer this or one of y'all. Do y'all think that the option to have technology such as this, right, where you could talk to your teacher from at home, do you think that that should be included all year round or only when there's a problem?
Lizzie?
I think no, because other kids don't have the access to the technology like some of us do. So I think we should have technology for some people and some work.
Profound. Anaya?
I think we should have it only when it's necessary. That we should have this because it was a big jump, so it's going to be a big jump going back. And if we have to like go back and forth, it's going to be very hard.
Good point. Kadar, what do you think?
I think only when it's necessary.
Only when we need it?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. Well, there you have it. Parent, Mr. Duffin that's watching. I see your comment, and these are young folks' personal feelings and opinion about it. So I think those are the best people that can answer that question for you and tell you how they feel.
Absolutely, and they are experiencing it. They're going through it, right in this moment. Well, esteemed guests, we want to say thank you for giving us your time. We really appreciate you, and we're gonna have to book you all again to come back to join us, after school starts, and you can tell us what it's like, maybe going through the live or hybrid. They're trying to call it hybrid schooling, possibly. So thank you so much for all of your insight. Really appreciate you all, and have a wonderful rest of the day. All right. Bye, y'all. Okay. Family, thank you so much for sending those questions like you would for any guest. That's really important that the young people feel valued and that you're still tuning in and didn't tune out just because they were young people. This is the people who we talk about. This is the people who we talk for. And it was a great opportunity to have them speak for themselves as what they're going through. Yeah. Tyrone, anything? You know what I wanted to do, Tyrone? It's just you and I right now before we get our guests. I wanted to do a moment of silence, actually. Yeah. So, family, if you would join me in just a few moments of silence for Mr. George Floyd, who was brutally murdered, and also for Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Aubrey, the list goes on and on. I won't sit here and enumerate all of them who have lost their lives in a tragic fashion by the hands of the police. And the list goes on and on. Also for people who've lost their lives in protests, just for the healing of our nation. So just a moment of silence right before we welcome our guest, please. All right, family, thank you. And who do we have joining us this moment? Miss Nene?
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Wonderful. Are you going by Nene?
Yeah, you can call me Nene.
All right, Nene. I'm William. I'm your host. Nice to meet you. You know Tyrone, right? Thank you.
Hello, Nene. I'm Tyrone.
Hi.
All right. So we're waiting for another guest, but as they come in, we'll ask them the same question. We always start with the connection question, Nene. So what is your favorite activity to do outside of the house?
Ooh, well, I'm still currently a marcher, so I like going to practice and performing with the band and being able to go out and perform on the street.
Excellent. So are you the march/dance component, or are you playing an instrument in march as well?
March/dance.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Wonderful. Well, thank you for giving us your time. I was just telling our family that we talk about the students, we talk around the students, we talk for the students, and it's a great opportunity that you all get to speak for yourselves. So thank you for joining us.
No problem.
Great. So we're going to jump right to it. How do you feel about the online schooling that you've been undergoing since COVID broke out?
Not gonna lie, I'd rather be in school. It's just, for the school that I go to Bard High School and college, and I wouldn't say it's a lot they give us, but normally beforehand, they would pile up each classwork and each assignment on top of each other. So it's like, while we're doing one thing, you get another email like 5 minutes later talking about you got something else to do, either be an essay or a reading article or something of this sort. And it's just like, it's a lot, and it's totally different in school. Like, honestly, the online work, the amount of work they give us online is totally different than the amount of work they'll give us while we're in school. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't really like online work. I would rather be in class, in the classroom learning, than have to be here purposely given an assignment and given a due date and be like, this one you got to do it.
Thank you for your honesty, and that's exactly what we want. So here's another question: is there anything good about it that you've experienced?
I'm home. I'm in my bed. I'm home. That's all. I ain't got to worry about this coronavirus. I'm home, staying in my room, bumping my music. I ain't going nowhere. Perfect.
Okay, let me ask you kind of a spin-off to that. Do you find yourself, I mean, it's late now, you may have gotten adjusted, but here's a question. In the beginning, did you find yourself getting distracted with the things in your room, or going downstairs, or going to get something to drink or eat or anything?
I'm still getting distracted. Like, I don't even understand. I'm in my house 24/7, but yet small things distract me. I'm an easily distracted person. So it's hard for me to stay focused on my work. Like, I'll be in my room doing my computer, and then all of a sudden, one of my favorite songs will start playing, and I just forget that I even have work. I'll be like, gotta go do something. I don't know. My brain just doesn't.
So let me ask you this. How have you managed to focus? Like, what are you doing to focus that?
Well, it's 50-50 thing. The first one, I just keep the mentality of like, all right, Nay, you ready to be in the 12th grade. You don't want to be in the 11th grade again. You don't want to do summer school because Lord knows your birthday in the summer. You ain't trying to ruin that. So just do the work so you ain't got to worry about summer school. The other 50, I get threatened by my mom, so
That'll do it. That'll do it. Well, thank you. That's because sometimes we say things and we don't realize that it's not just our story, but it's other people going through those exact same things. So thank you for that honesty. You mentioned a couple things about the excessive assignments with you being online. What other things do you miss about being a Bard?
just the people, some of the teachers, some of my friends. Like I'm honestly, I was so used to seeing my friends every day at school and seeing some teachers there. I may not like them or I may do like them. I'm just used to seeing them every day at school, and now it's like I would have to either virtually email them or call them, and it's just like it's too much. I would rather be in person right where you are than have to worry about phone disconnection, no Wi-Fi, no internet, this not working, that not working. Like, it's just a lot.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that. I didn't ask you this directly. You kind of mentioned it, but how do you feel about engaging with your teachers? How is the engagement level? Obviously, it's different because you're not, like you just said, physically in front of them, but how does that feel? How is that going? Give us your perspective on that.
Not gonna lie, I barely contact my teachers. Just recently, I emailed all of them about, my work and stuff. So I barely contact my teachers. I mean, they be trying to like check in with me, but it's just me. Like, it's just so different and it's so uncomfortable to me to continuously have to keep emailing or texting or always doing like virtual stuff just to get in contact with them. It's just a lot. So honestly, I don't really get in contact with them that much. They get in contact with me or my mom, and that's it. But I don't really do it.
Well, that's good. I mean, I understand your discomfort, but they are reaching out. They're not just leaving you in the lurch.
Oh, yeah.
Good. Excellent. So you kind of talked about this. You're going to be a senior this fall, right?
Mm.
All right. That's wonderful news. So the school board, as you know, the state, the governor, the superintendent of schools, as you know, is talking about reopening come fall. Okay. That's a heavy lift, a heavy load. I see your face. Heavy lift and heavy load. So here's my question to you, Nene. What will make you feel comfortable going back to school? What things do you need to see in the building when you go back in the fall? If we go back in the fall, if they reopen, they're planning staged reopenings. What's going to make you comfortable?
Hazmat suits.
Hazmat suits.
Okay.
So you mean the yellow kind with the full?
Yes, sir. Full hat covered from here on down. I better see hand sanitizers every corner I turn. Not even every corner. Every 5 feet, there better be a hand sanitizer. There better be a hand sanitizer all over. It could be hand sanitizer in the lockers. I will purposely take a hand sanitizer and just spray everything. I don't trust it. I don't.
Okay. Full hazmat.
Full hazmat.
Well, maybe you said you have a birthday coming up this summer, right?
Mm-hmm.
So maybe for your birthday,
Mom, getting a hazmat suit.
Mom, you get your hazmat suit. You follow my
yes, sir. Gloves and all, them little fat, puffy, little white gloves on top, them extra long boots. Oh, yes, I am not going back to school all skin out in the opening. No, I'm not. All then right. I got to catch the bus to school. I wish I would hop on the bus with that.
Yeah, that's a great point. A couple weeks ago, Nene, someone mentioned transportation, something we hadn't even thought about.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I won't say we. I'll speak for myself. I hadn't thought about, the consequences, ramifications of the students having to ride MTA to get to school. So thank you for that point as well. We jump over usually to Sir Tyrone, and he talks to the people, and the people talk to him from Facebook. So we're gonna see if there are any questions or comments at this time. Tyrone.
So first, Nene, I want to let you know that you are a crowd favorite.
Whoa!
Okay, the folks are in the crowd loving you. They sending in smiles and hearts and smiles. They love. I'm thinking they're loving your hazmat idea.
I'm trying to tell you, that's the only way to go. You don't want a sneeze, no a chew, no cough, none of that.
Got you. So I do have a couple of questions for you though. Okay, good. We are joined by. All right. I have a couple of questions for you. Earlier, it came right back. They asked the X again because you're a little older, and that is wanting to find out if you feel like technology, such as the Zoom calls and the way you are connecting with your teachers, should that be available at all times? Not just because of an emergency, but should that be in place for other reasons and other needs? So hold that, and then I'll let you answer that one first, and then I'll come to the next one.
Honestly, real quick, Nene, we want to welcome Mr. Emmanuel Brown. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm good. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon, Maddie.
We're gonna let Nene answer this question, then we'll come to you with the same one, okay?
All right, no problem.
Honestly, yes, I really do. I feel like it should be because it's better. It's honestly a better way to stay connected. Now, knowing me, since I'm bad at communicating, I find that if we had that type of source, it was like an everyday thing. I feel like it'll be better for me to be able to get better in contact with not just like my teachers, but virtually with everybody that can help me, that is supporting all their students who go to their school. And yeah, it probably get me better interested and engaged to talking to my teachers, honestly, even the ones I don't like. So yeah.
I don't know if Brother Emmanuel heard the question.
Okay. Yeah, can you actually repeat it? I'm sorry.
Yeah, so the question is, do you think the type of technology that we all are using now, Zoom calls and, like online calls with teachers and ways to do work online, do you think that should be available, at all times and not only when, there's an emergency?
Yes, I do feel like it should be available at any time you need it because, like, for example, when you're in school, you don't just talk to your teacher just about schoolwork, like if you need an explanation of something you're going through in life, there should be like a resource you could go to, not just who you're living with. Because some people feel more comfortable talking to their teachers and their peers than, whoever they are living with at the moment.
Absolutely.
Actual.
Cool. So the next question for you all is, do you feel like students will be making easy grades of passing instead of really working for it?
Let's start with the manual.
Can you repeat the question one more time?
Do you feel like students will be making easy grades of passing instead of really working for it?
Easy grades of like in the technology aspect?
No. Right. Well, with what's going on now, like, it's been talk about passing kids and everything. So, do you think kids going to just do the bare minimum or really, try and work for it and get above or do more?
Got you. Well, in my opinion, my grading system, it was like the 3 quarters are being added up. And then the 4th quarter of the work that we're doing now is basically extra credit. So, I mean, if that is the structure that's being implemented, I don't think that people are going to take it less serious. I think that it's going to take the stress and the burden off of their shoulders more of not just like, I'm not going to do it. I can do it at a pace that I feel comfortable at. Like it's not being thrown at me.
Firstly, you don't know how many times I done prayed and asked. They done just passed everybody in Baltimore. I ain't had to deal with this, but that's besides the point. Anyway, I agree with Emmanuel, right?
Emmanuel.
Yeah.
My bad, sir. My bad. I agree with you. Honestly, that's how my grading work is. First 3 quarters are graded, and then like 4th quarter is extra credit. And some students who I know, who I'm close with, some of them are in that mentality like, all right, I did good the first 3 quarters. Now I'm gonna just like slack off the last quarter and then like do here and there bits and pieces and like I'm still gonna pass because I did like great the first 3 quarters. And the others are like stressing now or worried because they don't know technically how many extra credit points are gonna get added to the final grade. So they just tell you 4th quarter is gonna get extra credit. Like you do the work, you get extra credit, but like how much extra credit points are that's willing to give me? Like all the assignments you've given us, how much are they worth? 5 points, 10 points, a lot of points. Like it all determines on the points. So I feel like the teachers in them should give us more information about how the 4th quarter is going to be graded with this extra credits and extra points and stuff. Then I feel like more students will be put at ease and won't have to stress as much. Man, I had a gray hair last week. I was upset. I didn't know what's going on. So I'm gonna need him to be more informed of me.
Thank you for that, Nene. Emmanuel, in the beginning, we were asking Nene how online learning is going for her. I want to extend the same question to you, good sir. How are you? Do you like it? Do you not? How are you managing?
Well, I prefer in school learning, but you know what's happening right now, you can't. It's impossible. But I prefer in school learning because you're surrounded by people with the same motivation. Everyone's trying to get their work done. Everyone's trying to complete this. Everyone's trying to get a high grade. So you have no other chance but to be motivated, if you get what I'm saying, because you're surrounded by that type of motivation. But when I'm in the house, it's kind of different because you have the time and you have the flexibility that you don't have in school. But me personally, it's not that bad. I daily communicate with my teachers, and they actually like push to stay in contact with you. Like I have teachers text me and call my phone just to make sure everything's going straight. So it's not that bad.
Right.
That's great. That's great. Very. You are a very eloquent speaking young man. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm gonna stay with you now. You kind of touched on it, and I was gonna go there with Nene just before Tyrone's. Took some questions from our family online. Question for you, Emmanuel. Then Nene, please chime in here. The question is, what's gonna make you feel safe come fall when we step away from the hybrid? It's not hybrid yet, and we step away from online learning to the possibility of coming back to the school brick and mortar. If you have to come back, what's going to make you? What is it you need to see in place to make you feel safe?
Well, in the cities, the schools aren't as like clean or like hygiene wise. How do I explain this? There needs to be more attention put into making sure that the desks are clean and this is refurbished and this is like a constant system of sanitization, because when you're dealing with a virus like this, you don't want space for opportunity. Like you want everything to be back to back and everything to be routine so that you feel comfortable. So I think there should be more attention put into the sanitization than to us wearing hoodies.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, Tyrone, these young people trying to take our jobs, man.
Look. I'm sitting back here like, but this is it. This shows why it is important to have their voices, to have them at the table, to, like to include those who are impacted by whatever is going on, because like they have the answers. They know what works best for them, right? Like they know what they want and what they need. It doesn't take, a bunch of everybody else telling it. We're witnessing it, right? From all age levels. So like this is freaking amazing, but y'all cannot have my job, okay? I don't have a thing.
Hey, so I'm ready for it, man. So just slide me a cue card, and I'm ready for this.
It's gonna be the Nene and Emmanuel podcast on Monday.
I do want to ask y'all, when y'all are logging on to like Google Classroom and stuff, what percentage of students would y'all say are online? 25, 50, 75, or 100, or you round it off to what you see. What percentage would you say students are actually participating in an online?
I'll let Nene go first.
And a gentleman to boot.
I was calculating, man. I was ready for that. I say about, because I don't want to make it seem low, because I don't want to make it seem like people in my school just don't care about them grades.
Just be truthful. I don't want to be truthful.
I give it like a good 79.1%.
But see, here's the thing, Nene, Emmanuel, before we go to you. The thing, Nene, is it's not necessarily a student not wanting to log in, right? Or doesn't care about logging. It could be that they don't have access. So we can't project. See, some people will say, oh, only 25%. That means 75% of them don't care. No. So we're not trying to project because we don't know. And that's the job of the school system, is to find out not only why, how come, but why? Why are they not able to, or are they able to log in? Emmanuel.
True. Wait, I gotta change my number. Wait.
All right, well, we'll let Emmanuel go while you calculate. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
Well, for my school, I think there's about like close to what she said, about 70% that are actually like being able to log in, and probably higher because I've got some emails that like if you can't afford like Wi-Fi or you don't have Wi-Fi in your house, they actually like sent you links to like free Wi-Fi codes so that you can get the work done. But for, like you said, some people literally can't log in, and sometimes there's malfunctions with the apps as well. Like it's too loaded. So yeah, I say about like 65%.
All right. Thank you for that. Tyrone, was there anything else on the
I do.
hotline?
We do have we're joined by a live couple of other young folks. We had another young folk who was caught up who was going to be on here with y'all, and I just want to share Christian's responses from her school. She says hers is about 25%.
Jesus.
Okay.
What school did she go to?
It's some students don't have access and some students don't know how to use it. Okay. She actually attended Green Street Academy.
Ooh.
Yeah. And actually, I was gonna.
And that's the next comment. Go ahead.
I was gonna implement that in my answer because, like, my school is in a really nice neighborhood, Roland Park, and some people go to schools and wherever they can go to school, like zone schools, like. Majority of the population of my school is whites, Asians, and they live in that neighborhood. So, of course, they kind of have more access than the person that goes to a lower income neighborhood school, or you get what I'm saying? Like that.
Can I bounce off that?
Absolutely.
I honestly agree with that because where BART is located, it's like located right next to Mondawmin. And around that entire neighborhood, it's just not good. Like it's low poverty income students. So I didn't even think about some students who don't have access. I was just thinking about the students who were possibly, they can control whether or not they go on Google Classroom and what they don't. That's what I was focusing on. I didn't even remember the students that don't have it. But because I didn't think about that is because a while ago, my school opened up for about a week long each day for students to come in, get Chromebooks and stuff like that. So they have something to work on. They have like a computer or something to go home to and use that. But I didn't think about, kids that don't have Wi-Fi and stuff like that. So I'll probably say like it's probably at least 70% itself.
You two are touching on it in the points. And one thing for you all, the schools that you attend, Poly and Bard, are definitely privileged schools. Compared to other high schools and zone schools, and you mentioned, neighborhood. Although Bard is near Mondawmin, it attracts because of the curriculum and what it takes to be in Bard. It attracts a different student. So those are privileged schools with like way more resources, than other schools and everything like that. I just want to, put that out there, especially looking at this because we also have a teacher online, in our comment box here now saying that they had 4 students today in technology class. Only 4 students to log on today. So, so we see that it's just, it's different across the board. And also, Christian, my school is my school is a middle and high school. From my perspective, not many students have access to the internet at all, so it's hard for many more of them to do work. That was a comment, that was made by Christian. And yes, and Green Street is a middle and a high school. So, Thank you, Christian, for sharing. I see you're done now. She was a lot late. Like I said, she was going to join us, but she was late. So yeah, and the teacher said it is a 7th grade middle school. So, just wanted to share that from the folks.
Well, we have to have Christian on later on. Next time we reconvene.
Yeah.
So, Emmanuel, you were talking about some of the kind of options that Poly gives to the students for students that have a harder time logging on. What are some other suggestions that you may be able to pass along that could help students log on?
Well, I mean, this is probably far-fetched, but if you really care, like, education and school are some students' like last thought in their head because they have so much going on in their life. So you're kind of gonna have to like have that reach to grab their attention. But it seems like everyone is on Instagram. Everyone has an Instagram account because Instagram doesn't cost. So I think there should be like some type of like different schools have different accounts. So, and to me, education isn't about the so-called curriculum that they teach. So I feel as though if a student from anywhere in the city, let's say, draws a picture or implements education in his day at least once and has a way to send that through like Instagram or DM to the school's account, that, you know, it shows that he's actually putting forth effort, and should be, you know, like, there should be some type of grading system that happens in there. But yeah.
Very progressive minded, sir. Thank you. Nene, what you got? What you think? You're muted, Nene.
Oh, Lord. Okay. My bad.
That's okay.
Had to yell at my sister. I say I agree, because majority of a lot of students are completely on IG like 24/7. Every time you go on there, you see mad students on there. But I would say I feel like they should expand more of their online networking onto different attachments that could be easier for students. Like some could be Instagram, that could be an option. But I was thinking more of like something like Khan Academy. They could change that up, help students with that one. Or Quizlet was a good one I used to use back in school, and stuff like that. Stuff like that could be not only quick learning, but interacting. It can catch the student's eye and make them interested in wanting to do that assignment or wanting to learn. And something that can just catch them by the eye and make them want to just actually get stuff done. Not everything needs to be a PowerPoint or an essay or this and third. Make them want to be able to go on there, do their work, and make them want to be able the next day to do the exact same thing over and over again. So they won't have to worry about possibly failing or stressing themselves out.
Right.
Excellent ideas, both of you. What are you studying to do or to be when you finish high school, Nene?
Okay, so I want to be a photographer because I just love different sceneries and different pictures. I just love taking certain.
You muted yourself, Nene. Go ahead.
No,
certain pictures and go ahead.
Certain pictures, and like I just love taking scenery pictures in general. Photography just seems something that I feel like with my character and something that I would probably do while probably dancing on the side. But my main focus is photography.
All right, thank you. Emmanuel, what are you studying to do or to be when you finish poly? You're muted also, Emmanuel.
This stuff doing it themselves. I ain't doing it.
Yeah, it is just doing it itself. But I'm not even. Well,
it's not doing it itself, but we apologize. We know where it's coming from.
It's not y'all. Don't worry about it. It's not y'all. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
All right. Well, personally, I'm not even thinking about doing this like after poly. Like I want to do this my senior year. But I want to be an entrepreneur, but I'm really interested in investing in stocks.
Stocks?
That would be my main career.
Okay. So investment?
Yeah. Investment and entrepreneurship. Business,
okay.
Man.
Super. Well, from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you both. Two eloquent, intelligent, vibrant young people. A part of the jewels and gems of our city. It was wonderful to have you. Thank you for your time. I know it's precious. I don't say that, dismissively. It's really important that you were here. This is important work. and that parents and teachers and your peers could hear from you. So, Emmanuel, thank you very much. Nene, thank you very much. We'd like to have you back on at a later date when things are different, maybe in the fall, to see your perspective then. But
No problem. Not like I ain't got anything to do anyway.
All right. Well, we want to thank our guests. Tyrone, anything else before we part?
No. Again, love to more love for Nene, of course, Manuel. I really enjoyed these two students. These are comments that are coming up. I enjoy both of them. As Richard just said, intelligent students. People are saying intelligent students, very well spoken, phenomenal job. And we got a lot of hearts and love being shown to you all. So thank you, also again for coming. And I think we probably have y'all back sooner than y'all think. So sorry, someone called me. So be ready. I think we'll have it. Even if it's just to check in, during the summer or something, and see, because y'all can, having young folks encourage other young folks to, make some things happen and do some things could really, really work. So definitely don't think we may wait all the way until, school pop back off. So y'all be returning favorites. That's what we'll do. We'll throw Christian in with you all and get some other young folks and hear your perspective. Especially from the response from the, our viewers and everything. I think they may want to hear from some more, students just around this. So, we'll get with that later on. But thank y'all so much.
Enjoy the rest of y'all day.
Hey, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Nene, thank you very much. Family.
No problem.
Family, thank you all for continuing to, again, tune on and not tune out, just because we had young people who, as you see, are certainly the future of this city and beyond. Our city is in good hands if we're able to get them to where they need to be.
Absolutely.
Join us for Tyrone's house on Thursday. I told him today, y'all, I said, leave the key under the mat because we're back. Tyrone's house on Thursday. Tyrone, anything else before we say goodbye to the family, sir?
No, I think that, y'all join us, of course, join us next Monday, or whatever like that as well. Right back here. And yeah, I don't know, spread love.
And exercise your right to vote. I know it's a trying time, but it's a sign of the times. Exercise your right to vote. I know who's got my vote and my support. You know what I mean? All right. We love y'all. We overdue. See y'all Thursday at Tyrone's house.
Peace. All right. Leave. Okay.